The second part of the TOEFL test will be the listening. Personally, I think listening is the hardest part because there's not a lot of strategies. It's just that you're able to understand a conversation or understand a lecture in order to answer the question. So for me, I think taking notes for listening is very, very important. Some of the things that we need to worry about for the listening TOEFL test is, first, you can take notes. Take as much notes as you need. But when you take notes, do not worry about spelling. Do not worry about if I'm getting this right. Just take notes on something that you can understand. All right, remember what I just said, something you can understand. A lot of students write a bunch of notes and they go back and they're like, I can't read what I wrote. Remember, it has to be something that you understand. So it will be very important to come up with a system that is good for you. So we're going to take a look at the conversation right now. So please listen carefully and take notes.
Listen to a conversation between a student and a department secretary.
Hi, Miss Hendricks.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
I'm fine, except I have a question about my paycheck.
Sure. What's up?
Well, it's already been several weeks into the semester, and my paycheck was supposed to go directly into my bank account, but there haven't been any deposits.
That's odd.
Yeah, well, I thought graduate teaching assistants were automatically put on the payroll at the beginning of the semester.
They are. Let's see. Did you complete all the forms for payroll?
I filled in whatever they sent me, and I returned it like at the end of August.
Well, you definitely should have been paid by now. At least 2 pay periods have passed since then.
I asked at the bank, and they didn't know anything. Who should I talk to about this? Payroll?
I'm going to contact them for you.
Well, as you can see, my notes is not very clear, and this is what your notes supposed to look like. You're not taking notes as fast as you can, all right? So remember, this is for you and for you only. So it doesn't matter if it's very sloppy or whatnot. As long as you understand what you just wrote down, like I have, I understand what I wrote down, then it should be okay, right? So let's take a look at the first question. Usually for the questions, it is this, what is the student's problem? First question is usually what's the student's problem? What is the talk about? Also, why did the student go see the professor? Or why did the student go see the student administration or something? So it's mostly the JICE questions that I was talking about. So what is the student's problem here? He missed the tuition due date. He has not been paid. His bank lost his check. His tuition payment got lost. Going back to our notes, it says that paycheck. All right, so he was on paycheck and he has not been deposited into his account. Okay, so with that, let's take a look at number 1. He missed the tuition date. We know that that's incorrect. He has not been paid, of course, because the student, the school system crashed and then he couldn't get paid, right? So he lost his bank lost his paycheck. Well, it's not the bank that lost his paycheck. It's the school system that lost his information, so he couldn't get paid. So that's no good. His tuition payment got lost. Well, it's not his tuition payment, so that's no good. So first one, answer for this one is B. So once again, when you take a look at the listening part of the TOEFL, it kind of go in order. There's sequential. It goes from the general parts to the specific parts to kind of towards the end. So if you take notes sequentially, then you kind of take your answer using your notes sequentially, okay? So once again, there's not many techniques that you can use for the listening part. It's the matter of taking good notes. Some students, though, they're better without taking notes. So that's something that we need to work out during these classes to see if you are one of those good note takers that can use their notes to answer these questions. A lot of my students kind of just close their eyes and listen, but not a lot of students can do that. For me, I like to take notes. I like to be engaged. I need to stay awake. Think about it. You need to listen to 6 lectures or 3 conversations. So you need to stay active in order for you not to fall asleep, which happens quite often when you're doing the TOEFL.